Fake resume, multiple names, and a home address that belongs to a UPS storefront. This is an internal investigation in the Illinois Secretary of State's office that shows a female employee in a high-ranking position who lied about who she is. Just about 5 o'clock, I'm Mark Sapelsa.
And I'm Lourdes Duarte. WGN's Tom Negevin is at the Secretary of State's office at the Thompson Center in the Loop. He's joining us live with more on this developing story. Tom.
And it continues to develop, Lourdes and Mark, and what you pointed out, what you brought up, are basically the nuts and bolts of the story as it's being reported, first reported, most recently, I should say, by Crain's Chicago Business. But this investigation, conducted internally by the Secretary of State's office, reached its apex in September, about which time the employee you're talking about left the Secretary of State's office, telling WGN News it is the victim here of a woman who, as you point out, falsified her credentials using as many as 9 different names, completely falsifying her resume. Everything fake, right up to her home address, which, again, as you mentioned, it comes down to a UPS storefront on the north side of Chicago. All of this revealed by that internal report, and that employee, 36-year-old Marlene Liss, quickly left her $75,000 a year state job.
The fact is, Tom, we do have a system here that Secretary White put in place to prevent people from abusing the system or any wrongdoing. He created a strong independent inspector general's office, hired Jim Burns, the former U.S. attorney, to work in that capacity. And in this case, they found that the resume was fraught with errors, shall we say, misidentifying, making claims that weren't correct.
That's a polite way, a diplomatic way of putting it. A lot of it absolutely bold and egregious. And now, as it continues to develop, the story veering toward the criminal, Marlene Liss, hired after meeting Secretary of State Jesse White, but his office stretches. That was just a friendship, and a friendship that resulted in her learning about a position in the Secretary of State's office, not resulting in her actually getting in the job, but applying for it and falsifying her credentials, they say, in so doing. The results of this investigation that the state has done now turned over to the U.S. Attorney's Office, which cannot comment on it as it's an ongoing investigation, but they're looking into this now as a criminal matter, trying to determine whether Ms. Liss was simultaneously defrauding other government agencies while she worked for the state of Illinois. That's a story live from the Thompson Center. Tom Negevin, WGN News. Mark and Lourdes, back to you.
All right.